to run to
Conspiracies are
conspiracy.
fun because it's fun. It's fun to conspirize.
But
What's the word?
to
What's the
conspire-
verb for
to conspire-
conspiracy?
conspirize?
conspire.
It's fun to conspirize. Oh my goodness. That's
You can tell English is not our first language. Yo, what's up and welcome to the 30% podcast, episode 28. Sam, we've done 28 episodes. I don't even know how I
why
feel.
do you feel
But
like
28.
it's every new episode is like a milestone for you.
It is. You know what?
So next week 29
definitely is
going to be just all the more important.
Exactly. But Sam,
okay.
how are you, man? Like, how have you been?
You know, man, I'm tight. I'm slightly annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm slightly annoyed.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to prevent myself from.
I'm talking.
Yeah, you're talking like you don't like we've not had a talk.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, we covered the podcast and then we're like, "Yo, Sam, how are you?" As if we haven't talked.
That has to stop.
As if we haven't.
We've just had a whole 3-hour discussion before this.
Bro, the funniest thing, I don't know if you watched the series it's not even a series because they only released one episode. Lil Yachty and Drake had like an interview, yeah? And then Lil Yachty was asking him this question. He's like, bro, he was asking Drake, how come, like, whenever you have your shows and you bring out like a rapper like Future or someone, yeah? And they come on the stage and you guys are always like, yo, but what's up? And then you dap each other up like you didn't just talk to each other backstage.
Exactly. Like you guys have not been planning this for a whole month. It's terrible.
And it's so fake. And it's just like, yeah, that's us right now. We're like, yo, what's up, Sam?
Yo, man, how have you been, man? How's your week been? Like we've not been going on excursions. Speaking of excursions, man.
But no.
Rest in peace to all those who were lost in that whole tragedy thing. I'm sorry to start. Second time we're starting it with
the submarine.
Look how fast you changed your voice.
No. Yeah. But Sam, I was hooked to the story. Like when it first came out, I was so hooked, man. I was on TikTok. You know what I was? I was a marine
Don't
biologist.
go to TikTok for your news.
What? TikTok is a very good source for news, by the way. Because you get so many different like angles and
that's
opinions.
Why it's
and
a
some
bad
of them
source.
are trash.
Okay, most of them are trash.
No, that's why it's a good. No, getting one source of news from
TikTok the new Twitter?
CNN or something is similar. Yeah, similar. But anyway, like when I first heard the news, I was so engulfed by it. Like it was so like, what? They're trapped in the Titanic all these years later, and they're probably just like because of the oxygen situation. Yeah, it was an interesting thing.
And then you realize that.
How did you feel? Maybe this is a bit of a
current event,
serious-ish. No, this is a bit of a serious angle to talk about. But like, how do you feel about like all the people who have no empathy towards like, because the billionaire was there, so everyone was like, I don't even care. Like it's a billionaire, you know, like they have all this money to waste, so I don't even feel bad for them. Like, how do you feel about like that take that's been on the internet?
I think it's silly. And it's just the human condition. Because if that same person which is what they probably want, became super wealthy and they had billions and billions, would you want someone else to talk to you about that, or do you not? And if you tell me that, oh no, I don't care because I'm making money, then money is your god, and I'm sorry, your humanity is a little bit questionable. But yeah, just because there are billions, and we do that to celebrities all the time, right? Just because you're a celebrity, that means that you should be able to take everything I'm throwing at you, and it doesn't matter, and you're not as valuable because it's like celebrities, billionaires. You see how they treat Elon Musk on Twitter, like he's not a human, and I like how he fights back. It's
although it's the argument that there's this article that came out a few years ago, and I guess now it's like a quote that there is no ethical billionaire, right?
Yeah,
and I get it. Like making that amount of money
you have to have
ethics are gonna be crossed.
You have to have
but like
crossed,
for me, it's just like
yeah.
But for me, it's just the human thing about like, okay, fine, maybe the dude wasn't the greatest guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't feel comfortable about being like, oh, they spent these billionaires, they spent $250,000 to go down there. I feel no empathy
That's
for whatever.
ridiculous, honestly. That's not
I don't know. I'm not comfortable like partaking in that.
What about the people
I'm
who
not
spend,
trying to act high and mighty.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same correlation. But what about the people who spend $250,000 buying a house, or even $1 million, even more, buying a house, and then all of a sudden a hurricane comes in, a disaster strikes? Are we not going to feel bad for them because they spend so much money on?
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, it's not the same thing, because then they are doing it for like enjoyment, and it almost seems unnecessary to go down there, right? But people explore all the time, and their tragedies. Right before that one, I think I was watching the tragedy of the NASA the NASA tragedies, the ones where a while ago where they went up to space, and then 1 minute after they took off, like the whole thing like exploded.
It imploded.
So tragedies,
exploded.
yeah,
no, look at me.
It's risk.
Sorry.
It's a risk doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
We shouldn't minimize it because of how much money they have or how much.
Yeah.
Now again, it's very unnecessary, because again, that guy was cutting corners. You're getting
by the way, this is not us saying that it's not an unnecessary thing to spend. You could spend that money way better. But I'm just saying, I'm it's not that I wouldn't be like,
though.
Oh, the memes, bro. I'm sorry.
I've been so
conflicted,
for Netflix to
bro.
put because Netflix put the Titanic back, which is a smart move on their part, right? They're putting the Titanic back on the Netflix show, and they're saying the billionaires should have just paid the Netflix subscription and waited to see it. It's so insensitive.
I'm telling you, the memes have been insane. People already casted George Clooney for the role. And Sandra Bullock, but there was no women on board, so I don't even know how Sandra Bullock has been casted.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we even get to the memes, I really felt bad for the kid, man. The son, the 19-year-old.
They're saying that he didn't want to go on there, but trying to please your father for Father's Day, and you both die.
On
like,
Father's
it doesn't mean
Day.
anything,
bro. That really got me, man, because it's just like he didn't even want to be there. You know what I mean?
Imagine how the mother is feeling.
Yeah, and obviously the most affected people will be friends and family.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know? Yeah.
There's some sons somewhere rubbing their hands, doing the hand rub though.
but you know the some airs, yeah. But you know the good thing is that it in a twisted way, I guess, it's good that it actually imploded as opposed to them having been stuck down there.
Yeah.
Suffocating, slowly suffocating. Because like with the implosion, I suppose the death was
more than instant, actually. It's like the reaction time.
Maybe that's better.
The reaction time would have been the human being reaction time to the reaction time of the pressure going crazy. It was a lot.
Yeah.
They didn't feel it, honestly. if those reports are real, they didn't feel it, which is good. Which is bad.
If we're trying to get into our conspiracy bag, though, it's kind of interesting that because apparently they knew about the implosion, like relatively close to when it happened.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of let us all ruminate in, are they down there? Did it implode? Whatever, for 4 days or 3 days. And then, then when the oxygen ran out is when we just now got the reports that, all
of a sudden.
So I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why it wasn't kept into like they didn't release that into the news cycle. I've read about a bunch of theories which I will not share here because they are very outlandish, but some of them are very
I'm actually curious now. I want to know because I've not really gone into the conspiracy route.
Okay.
It's just weird how us human beings run to conspiracy.
No, I'm not gonna say
the immediate thing. Immediately we run to conspiracy. Why do we feel the need to do that?
Conspiracies are fun because it's fun. It's fun to conspirize. What's the word? What's the verb for conspiracy?
Conspire. It's fun to conspirize. Oh my goodness.
You can tell English is not our first language.
It's fun to conspirize. What was I saying? No, imagine what the families feel when everyone is running to or they're saying that some people are saying that the billionaires were not, that we didn't see them go on the thing. So how are we sure that, or they're trying to hide money?
No.
It's just
Sam,
like people are dead.
No, Sam, the conspiracies I have on this are way deeper than that. Like they involve. All I'm gonna say is they involve presidents and just it's crazy.
Guys
but I can't talk about it
sitting
here.
around with popcorn in their hand, sitting around with crisps in their hand, looking for using their intelligence to do everything but make a life for themselves. The internet trolls. Anyway, sorry. Rest in.
Aside from the submersible, it wasn't actually a submarine. How was your week? What did you get up to?
It's a death tube. How was my week? Dang, do I remember? I've been busy I've gotten back into Afrobeats, so I've been making a whole bunch of Afrobeats.
Ooh.
Plotting.
Afrobeats.
That's it, honestly.
I need to get back into my Afrobeats bag.
Wait, you're off your Afrobeats
bag? That's cool.
Oh, I saw you. What are you on now? Afam, you jump around a lot.
Right now I'm on to Rage. I'm back on
You're back on Rage
music, yeah.
After you said you're done with Rage for a while.
I mean, I really flip. Like I get inspired and uninspired really quickly.
Our cycles work differently. I think your cycles are like a few, like maybe like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month.
Yep.
My cycle is
not even a month.
It's not up to a month, or it's more.
No.
Okay.
It's less. It's a week, 2 weeks. Yeah. You're right.
My cycle is like song to song, honestly. I'll do Afrobeat and then I'll get an idea to do like an indie song, and then I'll do that and I get another idea to do. It's exhausting.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting because like that speaks to your okay. So I think you know how like in like actors, there's like method actors, there's actors who just like, you know, they can switch it on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think you are more of the switch it on. Like you can make an R&B track, then make an Afrobeat, make a trap stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like a method actor, which by the way I don't think is a good thing. But anyway, so for me, I really have to get into the genre of music I'm making. Mm-hmm. So if it's Afrobeat, I kind of need to live the Afrobeat life. I need to be listening to. That's all I'm listening to.
Okay.
Like I'm consuming media. I'm watching interviews. I'm watching beat breakdowns of the producers. I'm watching genius things of Rema. Like I have to like really involve myself into that world to make good Afrobeats. I can't just switch it on. So for me, that takes like 2 weeks of me like really burying myself into that sound.
Yeah.
Oh. I wish I could just switch on like, bruh. Well, I can, but like it wouldn't be great. You know what I mean?
It won't be that good.
Anyway, I need to warm up to it, like make a bunch of trash stuff.
That's all I've been up to. Music. I'm trying to figure out other things. What about you? What about you, since we haven't really talked? I don't know what you've been up to. For the past week.
Well,
since we last spoke.
Okay, so I guess the first thing we did, well, I had an interesting shoot with this artist we're trying to push in the studio called Trigger Young Boy. Really fun shoot at the studio. And then after that, you and I, bro, the Pod Boys were back. We were back at it.
And
the Poseidon.
We decided
Mixie
to touch
boys.
the streets. That's so cringy.
We touched the streets for real, man.
That's so cringy.
So see, we attended the World Music Day at Alchemist. Hosted by Kipepeo, organized by Kipepeo Agency.
Arranged.
And yeah, bro, Sam, how was your like? Oh, well, you asked me, so I mean, it was dope. It was dope to be outside. I haven't been to Alchemist in a really long time. It was good to see everyone. All the Boomplay guys were there. Alfayo was there.
Yep.
The Sharp guys, Musao, Groovy Joe, Juice Man, DJ Mawinch, all the guys, they were there. Like it was dope. It was a nice experience. And then the performers, My favorite was I think my favorite performer was a tie between Liboy and Bakita. I think for me. How about for you?
The boy was good. We came.
I think Liboy was
I got
good.
there halfway into what's his name? The first guy who performed.
Oh, Eli Maliki.
Yeah, I got there, but his performance also seemed like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a nice event. Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
I feel like it rained a bit, so that and wait for it. It
People
put a
don't
little
care.
bit of a dampener.
You know, Alchemist population, they don't really care much about the rain. Those guys are there to have fun and get over their stress. Stress of the
But
week.
yeah, man. Oh, it was cool to see Groovy Joe and Asam perform music from their Sharp and Rage project. So it was like rock like stuff on the stage, which I loved. So that was cool. And who else? What else? They closed with Udulele, which was nice to see. Although I feel like that it was a bit interesting because like I feel like most people unfortunately had left when Udulele
The energy was down because
so there wasn't as much
midnight.
Yeah,
the energy was already down.
Yeah,
People
the
jumped
energy
around.
was really down.
Yeah, so
I think that it's just because it was a weekday and people were like, "Yo, I have work."
It's always
tomorrow,
tough
so
being a
I'm gonna
closer.
dip."
It's always tough being a closer because
on a weekday, especially.
Yeah, you have to function in not being a closer, but then having a less than ideal spot, which closing then on a weekday would be less than ideal. We saw it with what's his name? What's this guy? The remember the Sichangi, when Sichangi was performing during his set, the energy was really low.
And you know what? I left by that time. You know,
the energy was really low, and you could tell. So it's always tough being in a
closer.
Yeah, a closer, or being in a spot where people have to like they're going to take a break, going to find food, all that business.
Yeah,
it was good though.
But it was nice. Yeah. And it was good meeting. And also we linked up with our good friends at Breaking Hearts, Suki and Hafare. They were also out there, so it was a nice event to just meet everyone, listen to music, and chill. So yeah, that was my Wednesday. Was that Wednesday? Yeah, that was Wednesday. And then yesterday, well, I'm dating was it yesterday? Yeah, Saturday. Saturday I had a
They don't know which Saturday it is. Which year did we record? That's so stupid.
Oh my god, Sam. I know this doesn't mean much right now, but somebody might be listening to this 5 years from now and be like, this is so interesting. Anyway, never mind. And they're like, oh my god, yeah, which Saturday are they talking about? Anyway, that's kind of trippy to me. But yeah, yesterday I went to we had an event at our studio.
Yep.
It was called the oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. Sam, save me. I'm having a brain fart. Sam.
What? It's called the what? I don't know. It was your event. I wasn't there. Which one are you talking about?
Okay, sorry. No, it's called Gender. It was called the Gender Parity in Music.
Gender.
Well, that was the title.
Parity.
What does that mean? In music, yeah. So essentially, no, it's just like having women especially have way more representation in the music industry, and I think it was a very, very important event. It was centered around this artist called Daada, who is
I've met her during the show.
Well, she's multiple nationalities. So she's grown up in Tanzania. I think she's half German and
Colombian.
Just a bunch of different things. But like, it was good. She does music. She also performed at Alchemist when we were there. So she's been like introducing herself to the Kenyan audience, and she's gone
Kipepeo,
for
right?
a bunch of. She's not under Kipepeo. No,
okay.
She's not under Kipepeo. So she's just been introducing herself to the Kenyan audience. Like she's been doing a lot of media. Apparently, I think they did like 7 different media entities for interviews, and then they finalized like their media tour thing, like at our space. And so she also performed like
So
5,
corporate, so
6
industry.
Songs.
Finalized our
Yeah,
media
it was
tour at
bro
our
Sam.
studio, at the studio at which I
Yeah.
am. God.
It was really industry though, because like there was there was like a panel that was moderated by Maya from Kipepeo, and then Buddha Blaze, really well-known booking agent manager, was in the panel. We had Tela Wangeshi, who's like a really, really dope budding journalist. We had Agnes Opondo from Dundo. Had so many gems to share. And then we had Agnes Nonsizi, who I believe is a TV presenter at Kameme TV. So they were on the panel. They were all just kind of talking about their experience in the industry as women, what they're doing for women to have better representation.
Was it? I hope this
just
question
like-
is not disrespectful.
Go ahead.
Well, it's not meant to be disrespectful. But then was it? Because we've been at events where was it? An actual like women discussion. I mean, actual like discussion, or was it just a glorified Daada ad? And that sounds bad.
No.
But
This
then
was
we know what usually happens.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because sometimes people will model.
Yeah, they put so many things
over something
at a show
but
recently that
really
will not be named.
it's just
That
yeah,
just a glorified ad.
I know exactly what you're saying. No, this was actually genuinely like, let's, even before we think about, because the first thing we did was the 1 to 1.5 hour like talk.
Okay.
It was genuinely just that. And then after that, we had Daada perform. So they genuinely just were talking about, gender parity in music. And I think Maya did a really good job moderating. And yeah, man, pretty nice networking opportunity. And then after that, I decided, this, by the way, I'm sorry guys, but this podcast is Afam recounting his week. That's what this podcast is. So after that, that
2
event
outings
lasted,
in 1 week. You're really pushing it for You're
3,
really pushing
3
it.
because
I was 3.
especially. Yeah, see, because after that I went for the CAP event, which I'm about to talk
3
about.
outings. Oh boy, this
I
guy
know.
is
That's
really pushing it.
For an introvert like
Your
me,
new,
that's
what
a
are your
lot.
what are those things called? The things that you make at the beginning of the year and you forget immediately. You say them.
Resolution.
Yeah.
Oh, am I on course? Am I on
Exactly.
course for my resolution?
Yeah, if you keep this up, you're for sure.
you.
Actually, you know what? You've actually done a lot. I'm sure you've gone for more than you this year than you have already.
That I thought.
The whole
Oh
of
wow!
last
Actually,
year.
I didn't think about that.
Hey,
That's actually
congratulations
insane.
to you. I won't clap because I don't think like that's a really huge thing to applaud. But congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah. But yeah, after the gender parity in music event at our studio, I was like, I need to go and show some love to the young bulls, the young boys.
What did you say? The young bulls?
Yeah, isn't that what people say?
No one says that. I've never heard that before in my life. Stay off TikTok, bro. I told you, stay off TikTok. Don't get it. TikTok is ruining your brain. The young bulls. What's that?
So Cap, aka Carpenter, aka Michael Chepkon, had an event. He had an event at Bistro Adrino in Bagadiwe. So it was just like an event, like a listening for his album, which came out like 2 weeks ago, and it was really cool. It was themed. Everybody had to be there in all black, and then there was performances from, you guessed it, Swahili Papi, Kahush. Super
Kahush is
Sun
back in
didn't
Kenya.
come through.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, Kahush is back. He even released a song. Actually, yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it with the new releases. So Kahush, Njeri was there. Albizi was there. Jovi Jove. Like all these guys, from these
Kilimani
circles.
rapper-esque.
Very Kilimani rapper-esque. Corby was there. So it was pretty dope. All these guys and then there was a bunch of producers, a bunch of like now, like, these producers that we see like on just like social media, like they were all there.
Yeah.
And so it was dope to be out there, man, like just supporting like how this like Cap is moving, man.
I really like what he's doing.
He's actually,
I really like what he's doing.
He started a movement called the Agenda Worldwide. It's a fashion brand.
Nice
it's even more than a fashion brand. He's selling his caps, and it's interesting that he's selling caps because it's called Cap. And then he has his whole brand.
I mean, it's not too much of a stretch though. Like that you could put two and two together. Yeah. That would be his first.
And the cool thing is, bro, like they're actually doing, because like there was a bunch of merchandise, and like people bought, like a lot of people bought like his caps and everything. And
that's fire, man.
And it's like, bro, that's cool stuff that I want to say, me as a producer, I didn't do that like coming up. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think to do shit like that, and I just think it's really dope to see. So yeah, it was a dope night, all black, really fun. And then after that, we went to the studio and did studio things. So that was fun. It was, shout out to Cap.
Afam
shout out to
I'm old. He didn't invite me. He thinks I'm old and washed. That's what this is.
And I did.
I'm actually tight. I mean, I'm not tight because again, it's cool. But then he thinks I'm washed. And it's really weird.
I do.
Because it's not far behind.
It was spontaneous. It was a spontaneous decision to go.
Yeah, what an excuse. I thought about this and it just...
Fine.
Anyway, I'm sort of pissed, but I'm okay. I'm all right. I'll live. I had my own things to fight about.
Sam, I will invite you for the next one.
No, don't do that.
I promise.
Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Oh man, I had a rant, but now that we're so deep into it, I feel like...
Do you think we should just move on to the news? I think we should move on to the news.
I feel like ranting though. All right, let's move on to the news. Let me calm down. Let's move on to the news.
Let's move on to the news.
I'll just say this, since we're on the topic of young producers. Let me just say just one thing.
I tried. Guys, I really tried.
No, I'll keep it to you.
But go
just
ahead,
one
Sam.
thing. I've been having thoughts during the week, right? And I came here with I probably ranted to Afam like 2 hours before we started this thing. Listen, as young producers, young artists, I'm just going to say it and I'm going to leave it. We should get into it later on. But we need to start a whole culture of not having to leverage opportunities for value. I think this is so left too, because you're talking about. So sorry. Anyways, this whole thing of doing things for exposure and I think as a society we've made it so normal. What that does when you start accepting that in your early years is later on, I think it even affects your view of what you feel, what your worth is. Like it skews that, because later on now you're like, okay, when I was here, I was able to survive on what I did, and I did this and this and this and this. And now that me asking for more, and it also works a lot with introverts, which is what a lot of creatives, behind the scenes creatives are, producers, and all that business. What you end up doing is accepting less, because when you started, you valued yourself less. It's like, as a company, if you have a company and in the beginning you've slashed your prices in half, and then later on you're like, okay, now it's time to charge exactly what I need to charge for this, or it's time to properly value myself. If you have a history of not valuing yourself properly, as you climb up, that's also going to be skewed. And then it's going to take a lot now, because now you're known. Now people know, oh, this guy is going to do this for this, and this guy is going to do this for a look, and this guy is going to do this for this.
You set the precedent.
Exactly, and
right?
it hurts in the long run. So in the beginning, it's really uncomfortable. So this, I'll end the PSA here. In the beginning, it's really uncomfortable to step out and say, you know what, no, I'm putting my foot down. I really do feel sometimes exposure is worth it, and maybe lowering your prices or doing more work than you should, or hours and all that stuff. Sometimes it's worth it, but then the industry tends to latch on that worth it and make it more bigger than it seems, right? That's not supposed to be the whole thing. Sorry.
It's like if you start producing with your friend, your buddy, and then it's for fun, it's nice, it's for the look.
Exactly.
And then
those
down
same
the
people
road,
now,
like, you guys start to do well. And then you have to have an uncomfortable conversation where it's like, I can't do this for free anymore. I know we started this. It's just like we're producing, we're having fun, but like, now you gotta pay me, and it's just like it's a hard discussion.
It's hard and it's uncomfortable, and it's hard and uncomfortable because we have a culture of not doing that. We have a culture of young people feeling the need to prove themselves first before they earn from in whatever way they're going to earn, but before they earn from their music, which is ridiculous.
I mean, Sam, I totally get what you're saying.
It's a huge thing.
And I feel
it's a
like
huge thing.
I feel like if you're like artists, I guess this is a PSA to like artists and there's people in the industry, like the real people who make things like really move. And bro, like, listen, we're in the midst of a writer's strike right now, and shows are really struggling to stay on schedule. A lot of movies and series have been pushed back because of this strike. And it's because the real people, I even learned that the reason why we all became fans of reality TV in 2007, 8 and 9 over there, was because there was a writer's strike. Which is why, did you ever watch Heroes?
No. Which one is Heroes?
Heroes was Heroes was the one which had an amazing... It was the one about mutants and whatever. It had an amazing season 1. Season 1 is honestly up there in terms of like best TV things ever. And then the writer's strike happened. Obviously, I didn't understand this because I was younger, so I didn't even know. And then all of a sudden, season 2, 3, whatever were really, really bad. And the reason why was because of the writer's strike. And so people shifted their attention to things like reality TV, which didn't need writers
as much.
So that's when the rise of Jersey Shore and all these type of things happened. And so anyway, I say this to say the real people who make things happen now in the music industry, it's the engineers, it's the producers, it's
not just the
managers,
music industry too,
it's the booking
it's
agents,
even photography, film, all
that's
that
what I'm
stuff,
saying. That's what I'm trying to say. And when you don't treat the people like now, you don't treat the writers properly, the quality of the product will go down significantly. We have the front-facing stars, but the front-facing stars, the artists, the whatevers, they won't be who they are without the people who work behind the scenes. And sure, we don't get as much shine, which is fine, but at least give us the credit, the compensation that we deserve.
Fine,
you know what I mean?
We can't say that's fine. I don't think that's fine.
No, it's cool. No, for me, it's how it is. For me, it's like I understand. Like Drake is the star, right? Drake is the star. 40 and Boy Wonder, etc. Like they're behind the scenes. They're also stars in their own right.
Thinking like that because we've been trained to think like that. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, for me, how I view things, it's like, sure, the artist, that's the star. You do your star things. But me as a producer behind the scenes, I will work towards putting you on that pedestal. But at least give me the credit, give me the compensation I deserve.
Yeah, the fact that, again, that's another thing.
What I mean?
That's another thing. The fact that you're working with a star shouldn't... that's what I was saying in the beginning. You shouldn't trade that for value. Your opportunity for value.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't say, because he's a star, okay, fine, I'm just going to sit under here and I'm just going to take whatever I'm given because his light is a lot brighter than mine and I'm not necessarily in the forefront. We need to stop looking at it like that. Like, we should stop looking at art like that. We have to start looking at it in terms of, and for younger producers and younger artists and younger photographers and stuff, like it's a business. So your value should be value yourself as you would a business. And these are mistakes I've made, honestly. I guess that's why I get really tight when I talk about this stuff, because I've made those same mistakes with people, and you tend to devalue yourself because you feel like, oh, I might not get this opportunity again, or I might not do this again, I might not do this again, and that ends up hurting you in the long run. Anyway, but yeah, it's not cool.
That was a PSA to the young upcoming producers out there. Bro, we really should get to the news, but we don't really have much. There's only really 2 news articles or news pieces that are like that caught my attention. The first was
that are worth talking about. Get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. So the first, the first was the the Recording Academy. They released their new class of inductees. Is that what they're called? Or the invites? I don't know what the official term is, but yeah, a lot of people are now Recording Academy members. Which congratulations to them. Good job. Sauti Sol being one of them. Faye, who manages Karun, Xenia, one of them as well. So congratulations to her, like huge congratulations to her. I was reading all the the benefits of being a member of the Recording Academy, and it's really dope, man. Let me see. So let me just read a little bit about this. So the Recording Academy, which welcomed more than 2,700 new members last year, says its 2023 invitees representing various genres, backgrounds, and regions constitute torchbearers, embodying its dedication to presenting the vibrant global music community it serves, a lot of which were a lot of African individuals, especially because of their expansion with the new Grammy, with the new African Grammy thing
category
that they rolled out last week. So I wanted to just read some of the things that they can do as members. Oh, here we go. So members of the Recording Academy actively participate in shaping the future of the music industry at both local and national levels through their involvement in chapters, submitting music for Grammy Awards consideration. So I know Kina Karun and Xenia's music is going to be submitted, which is sick. Contributing to rule changes and a new category. And contributing to rule changes and new category proposals. They can also run for board positions, vote in elections, attend member-exclusive programs, and provide support to fellow musicians through advocacy efforts. So yeah, man, there's just so much dopeness that's happening.
They're not breaking up yet.
Well, the way I received the news for the Sauti Sol members was like individual. I just saw, Savara is now inducted. So that's how I saw it first. But the article I'm reading just says Sauti Sol.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll send out personal things and stuff, because that also helps for the promo. Because this is a whole promotion thing that they're trying to do.
Oh yeah. And also they sorry to cut you off, but also they get the voting. Whatever,
they get to vote
for the Grammys. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean,
it is.
That's great.
It is. That is great.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I agree. I agree. And it's giving more representation, because a lot of, like we said, there was a lot of African inductees like Sauti Sol, Nigerian producer Flip Tice, Ugandan hip hop star GNL Zamba, who Sam and I have actually met, Cameroonian rapper Stanley Enau. I hope I'm pronouncing that
butchering,
right.
I'm pretty sure you're
I know I'm butchering. They joined the likes of Nigerian musicians Praise and Lycon, A&R specialist Lycon. Oh, sorry. If I'm going to butcher so many of these names coming up.
Most of them
A&R specialist Abiodun Bizzle Osikoya, Boomplay Ghana general manager Elizabeth Ntiamoa Kwarshi. It starts with a Q. Kwarshi. as well as British Ghanaian DJ
Why are you putting
producer
yourself
Jules.
through this problem? You should have just said general manager and left it there. You're the one who's doing this to yourself. At least you got Jules
Anyway,
right.
I'm trying to give people their flowers, man. I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to give people their flowers. And congratulations to everyone. Shout out to the Grammys. I can't wait to see this whole new African
Yeah,
thing.
when are they implementing it? Next year? The next year Grammys?
Yeah, for 2024.
Oh,
yeah.
fact.
So next year.
Nice.
Next year we'll find out. But yeah, that was huge news. The next one, we'll just glance on it. Oh no, Sam, actually, please break the other one, the one that you put me onto.
Which other one? What did I put you onto?
The Spotify and Afrobeats.
Should have just mentioned it. So yeah, well, we know the whole the Afrobeat push now. Like everyone is starting to like Afrobeat is what Rema and them have done in the recent past. Like people are starting to really look at Afrobeat, which is actually interesting. There's something I wish maybe we'll do it another time, but there's something I'd like to play. There's one of like an executive in like the Nigerian Afrobeat industry. He was talking about the fact that Afrobeat is being taken seriously now. I don't know if I sent it to you. The fact that Afrobeat is being taken seriously now doesn't really mean much if there are no structures in place to maintain it. So where it's like it's almost like what do you call that thing where people are selling pictures of monkeys? NFTs.
Oh, NFTs, yeah.
When the NFT, like there's so much interest in everything, you start to see this thing as a potential, or it's important, and then if it doesn't have enough to maintain itself, it breaks down again and becomes a niche, which a lot of people are saying that's what Afrobeat that's happening to Afrobeat. Because even in Nigeria, where everything is popping, we're saying they're doing well, but then it seems to be only a select few who are doing well. The systems are still the same and everything. So, anyways, all that says like there's a huge push.
Oh, wait. I don't wanna interrupt you, but have you seen this reel that this guy at Afrobeat Intelligence talked about exactly what you were just
That's
talking
exactly
about.
that. That's the one I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh shit! Yeah. That proves that I was not listening.
Oh.
Okay, never mind.
That's what I was talking about. So yeah, that's all that's to say. Just as much as we shouldn't be fooled. I don't say be fooled because I'm making it sound negative. But then the whole Afrobeats push and everything, there needs to be a more serious effort behind the scenes. Yeah. Stars are always going to be stars. Songs are going to pop and they're going to be hot, and we've seen that happen numerous times of different generations. So, anyways, but Spotify is really getting in on it, and I think what they're doing is great. They launched a new website.
Yeah,
there's a long intro for the topic. They launched a new website. The website Afrobeats: The Journey of a Billion Streams. So it's basically a website that opens some of the conversations that are not necessarily, that are debated about, right? But not necessarily. So they're opening the numbers and everything to people just to watch. The website is pretty cool. It's very colorful.
It's like you said, it's like a glorified Spotify.
Yeah, and it's a year-end wrap-up. It's an Afrobeat.
Yeah,
and it focuses on the current Afrobeat.
Yes.
What do you call it? Current Afrobeat scene. So it's really cool.
But it's so sick though. I've gone to the site and I was skeptical, so I went to the site and it's actually really fun.
It's so colorful.
To play around
it's hurting
with.
My eyes.
It's colorful. It's shout out to listen. I'm giving them their flowers now. I know this was come up with by an intern.
It has to be an intern who came up with this idea. Who was terrified to pitch it to the.
I know this has intern written all over it. And shout out to you, whoever you are.
Yes, please.
Shout out to you,
please.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting this together because it's amazing. But go ahead, yeah.
Anyway, so it's really cool. There's a lot of. It's information that if you really look, like go into the interwebs and look, you could possibly find. But it's really good to have it all in one place.
Yeah.
Of course, it being released by one streaming company, we might question it and be like, whether this is a complete picture. But it's a picture. It's better to have a picture than not have a complete one, and it seems to be pretty accurate.
Indeed.
Yeah. It gives details
my
like
most interesting.
it gives details.
Oh, sorry.
It gives
ahead.
like information like the top 10 Afrobeat songs of all time. You could probably guess which ones those are off your head.
Yeah, you can.
Percentage of what do you call it? Female representation.
My favorite was Top Cities streaming Afrobeats, man, because Nairobi is number 4, which is
that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Who is streaming Rush that much? Because it's Ira Styles' Rush that seems to be the most.
Rush
who is streaming
was a
that
huge
song so
much? Bro, it's huge. If you go outside, I think you can still hear people play Rush.
It definitely plays in matatus and still.
Yeah,
but that's cool,
man.
The whole well, a majority of it is honestly Nigerian though. Like as a whole Nigerian push. Dang, the Nigerians are really it's crazy.
But it's Afrobeats though. It's Afrobeats. Afrobeats doesn't encompass like Amapiano. Like if they want to do this for Amapiano, they would. They'd have to make a completely different thing.
No.
Afrobeats doesn't encompass. See that's essentially why, like even in the Grammys thing, they had to like be like, yeah, it's Afrobeats, Genge, Amapiano, Kwaito, this, that, High Life, whatever, because Afrobeats is not representative of the other genres in Africa.
I don't think so.
That's why most of the people in this list are going to be West African.
I feel like that's because it's the West Africans making the most noise.
But Afrobeats but isn't Afrobeat was.
Well, we're looking at it the way we are
thing.
looking at Afrobeat. I'm trying to think of it of how the West looks at Afrobeat. They are pretty sure they've. For them,
yeah, but screw the West's opinion on it. The West's opinion is as uninformed.
Would you like to say that again
right?
loudly?
Screw the West's opinion on this because their opinion is uninformed. Yeah, because Afrobeats does not encompass what the rest
So what happens
of
for the rest of the
Afrobeat
community then? No, I think Afrobeat is a more. Anyway, all right, we could be. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I feel like Afrobeat is more than just what the West Africans are doing.
Afrobeats is.
Oh, you think Afrobeat is a genre?
Yeah, it is. It's a genre. It's a sound. Yeah, I can make Afrobeats and I can make it with Kenyans. But what I'm saying is, like Gengetone. Is Gengetone Afrobeats? It is not. Gengetone is Gengetone. Is Amapiano Afrobeats? No, it's not. It's
Would you say
Amapiano.
the same thing about hip hop? Because under hip hop, there's different genres. Are you looking at it the same way?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. We can't look at it the same way. Please do not even insinuate that Afrobeats is like hip hop and then it has genres, and under those genres are now all the other African. It is not like that at all.
Guys, we can't see Afam is waving his fingers around furiously.
Yeah, it would be better if you said there's African music. That's like, please don't insinuate that Afrobeats is the umbrella.
Are you telling me or are you telling
term.
Are you directing this energy at me?
I'm telling you.
Oh,
I'm telling you. Like, was that what you were insinuating?
I was asking a question. Why am I coming under fire for asking a question?
You can't equate Afrobeats to hip hop. You can say like the only way you can equate it is if you say Afrobeats and then under that there's Alte, there's this and that. Fine. But no, Afrobeats is its own thing, and then everybody else also has. You can't say Dombolo, for example, is under Afrobeats. It's not. It's different.
Okay, maybe we're looking at this differently then. And you may be right.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, if you look at this site, all you'll see is West African people, and that makes sense because Afrobeats is from there, and they're the guys who are the biggest in the genre. And that's why I'm like, if they wanted to do one for other genres, I think the next one they would do would obviously be Amapiano or South African music. And
but how does
it
work
guys.
though? Because some of the songs, some of the most the popular songs and the songs that are giving these guys their numbers are Nigerians doing Amapiano. Is that still Afrobeat?
Like which ones? Like which one?
I'm talking about some of the popular songs. Like recently, Davido's. I know Davido has not been. Actually, it's really weird that Davido has not been mentioned on this thing. I haven't seen his name once. But this recent hit from Davido's recent album, what's it called? Unavailable. That's an Amapiano song. So how would you classify that? Are we not including that in or no?
In Afrobeat?
Yes.
No, that's an Amapiano track.
What?
It's just that it's been done by Davido.
No.
Why are we complicating this, Sam?
It's not been. I'm not trying to complicate it. It's
not Afrobeat. What are you talking about? It's not Afrobeat. Amapiano is Amapiano,
no.
and it's not Afrobeat.
The West Africans doing Afrobeat, they are not considered Amapiano artists.
Davido, and then also the West Africans. Why are we saying the West Africans like we're not West African? That's hilarious. Listen, Nigerians have been adding Amapiano elements to their beats. That's facts. Because like a lot of beats nowadays have the log drum, etc. Yeah? But that doesn't make those tracks Amapiano. It just makes it a fusion of Amapiano and Afrobeats. It doesn't make Amapiano any more Afrobeats than it is Amapiano. Amapiano is what it is. It's Amapiano. And Davido going on an Amapiano beat doesn't make it Afrobeats. It just makes it an Amapiano track that Davido happened to go on.
Okay.
It doesn't make it Afrobeats.
At what point okay, I'll say this and then we move on because we've talked about it. At what point do we stop considering it a fusion and start considering it?
Wait, sorry, say that again.
At what point do we stop considering it a fusion and start considering it a whole genre? Because I was watching an interview with Joe Boy and Tempo. Really good interview. He was talking about how I think he was one of the first people to start putting log drums in an Afrobeat song.
Yeah.
So that would be considered fusion. Yeah. So where is the line between him doing that and then releasing a completely Afro Amapiano?
See, that's what it is. It's a fusion of Afrobeats and Amapiano.
So these songs are in fusion. Some of the songs are complete Amapiano song. Anyway, all right. I get what you're saying though.
Because listen, Amapiano has a thing. Like Amapiano, 112 BPM. We know the elements. The saxophone that repeats all the time. The log drum. That bass, Diablo 5 or whatever it's called.
The Nigerian music has sort of pushed that forward though. Like we've made it more poppy. Amapiano used to be very, very underground, very.
Then it's a fusion. It's just like how pop music of late has been really integrating trap beat elements, hi-hats, the snares, the 808s and stuff like that. It doesn't make those pop beats trap. It's just pop music with trap elements, right? That's how I view it.
Okay. I said okay.
That's how I view it anyway.
All right.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Anyway, that's fine.
But all I'm saying, and my primary argument is this site caters to Afrobeats, which is a primarily West African genre. It does not, like us not seeing, why are there no South Africans here? That's no cause for alarm because Afrobeats caters for West African music. If they wanted to cater for different parts of Africa, they'd have to create a more in-depth site. And I know your argument is that the West views Afrobeats as primarily a genre that encompasses Africa, but I genuinely don't see it the same way. And if they wanted to give representation for other places like South Africa, for example, they'd have to create another website for South African music because South African music is way more than just Amapiano anyway. So they'd have to create another one. So this makes sense, but this is mostly a West African thing. Afrobeats is West African.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. But that's we went into a whole thing. Yeah, you should check it out. Afrobeats
it genuinely is.
Dot by Spotify.com or just Google it, I guess. I don't have to tell it to you. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, I don't really want to talk about the other. Well, I'll just mention it. Boys to Men concert organizers taken to court.
We saw that coming. All right,
apparently,
great. Next.
Yeah, apparently they were taken to court by COFEC, Consumer Federation of Kenya, against the event organizers. It has been filed under certificate of urgency at the Milimani Law Courts against Stanbic Bank, who are the official sponsors of the highly disappointing event, alongside Radio Africa Events and Homeboys, who did the amazingly bad sound. So let us see what's going to happen. That's all I can really report on for now, that they have been taken to court. For the fans and the consumers, let's hope we get justice, because, bro, they paid too much money to be treated like that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, like, in as far as news is concerned. Sam, what music was hitting your eardrums in a nice rhythm? What was making your eardrums vibrate?
Tingle.
Satisfyingly.
What tingled my ear hairs?
Yuck. I don't know. Oh, that's disgusting. Yuck. No. What tingled my ear hairs is no. That's the title of this podcast.
What tingled my ear hairs? Oh gosh. Anyway, it's hard to say that together. Say that 10 times fast. Ear hairs.
No, that's the most disgusting description of listening to music I've ever had. I love it. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so a whole bunch of drops. First, let me highlight Kagwe Mungai. I think I just want to highlight because he dropped a whole album. He highlighted an album called Daada. I'm not going to ask Afam if he heard it because I'm pretty sure he hasn't. Kagwe Mungai is doing something interesting, I think. Yeah, I'm lighting you up because he's just for some reason refused to listen to music on a music podcast. You're getting lit up.
Wow.
So he's doing something really interesting, which is something I think I'm not saying I've, because I don't want to be that guy. Oh, I've thought about this before. You know those guys who have always had the great idea before they were done. But the whole thing of sampling Kenyan music and giving them modern spins. The future Zilizo Pendwas of our generation. His album is called Daada, and a lot of the songs have interpolations and samples of like older Kenyan songs. Nameless. What is the guys called? What are the guys? Unpokable? Oh my gosh, this is terrible. What are they called?
Giddy Giddy Maji Maji.
Giddy Giddy Maji Maji. Oh snap! I wouldn't have gotten that right. I would have thought for a while. So he's done that. I just think it's really cool him doing it. The album is okay. There are really strong points. There are also some I would say moments that he probably could have done well. But the idea I think is good, and I feel like a lot of artists, younger producers should sort of pick that up.
Yeah.
I think it does more to add value to the Kenyan music, because then we've never really talked about what happens when a Kenyan song is sampled. How do you clear that? Once you get that set, then we can get it's a level above where we are, in terms of now we can start figuring out some of the legal things and some of the what do you call them? Systems behind the music being released. So that's really cool. Shout out to him for doing that. It's a really good idea. The album has some big names on it. I'll just mention some of them shortly. Matata, there's a song with King Kaka. We have Fena, Mayonde, Nameless, Kolo. Just some of the mix match of people who are popping now and people who've popped before. So that's really cool, just to highlight that. Let me see. Continuing his streak of releasing music. What's this guy's name? Idaziz, and he gave us another banger. We have New Funk also, who has been releasing consistently. He released some music.
New Funk.
Katunge by VB, Vijana Barubaru, and Shag
Actually
Ziki.
quite liked it.
Yeah, that dropped.
Liked it.
That was cool.
I liked it. Nyashinsky dropped a song, Beautiful.
Oh yes. He teased it last week. A song. It's a very orchestral offering produced by Sedo. That was that. Emmy with
Sexy.
Oh, you want to talk about?
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. If you want to mention that one, don't you?
No. Yeah, Sexy, Valerie Mudoni, and Jerry and Kafi. Fire song. We have wait, what else did I listen to? Higher by Flyer. I was so impressed to hear him rapping.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get introduced to him as a rapper, which you told me.
If you go back to his catalog, he's been rapping for a minute. I really just like his music. I think it's cool. He's on his way.
Yeah. And then Kahush actually released some
Came out
music.
of the woodworks. Actually, I haven't heard that.
Wait, let me find the name of the track. Hold on. It was
Something on my lap.
Glock. I think it's called Glock. Yeah, Glock in the lap. Not in my lap even. It's in the lap.
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
What does it sound like?
Yeah. But actually, I like the video. I like the colors in the video. The song is okay. Who is it produced by? Is my question.
Glock in my lap is a funny name for a song.
Produced by 19. I was actually with Kahush at 19 yesterday. Very interesting guys.
Glock in my lap.
Yeah, and then what else was there, Sam? What else was there?
Vince on the beat and Calligraph released a song called Sogon G Fix, where Vince is, he's known for his production, but he was rapping on the song, which is interesting. It's always interesting to watch rappers, producers get into dip their feet into the artist waters.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, well, for me personally, the song that stood up to me was Belle by Arrowboy.
Pronounce it right this
time. I don't know about
this guy was saying Bell.
That's cap. How do you? Where's the proof? Where's the proof that Sam? Where was the proof that I was saying that? Where's the proof? Prove it to the audience.
Do you know what it means? Do you know what that means?
Of course I do.
What does it mean?
I don't plan on sharing it on the podcast because this is an PG-13 podcast.
Then why are you playing the song that has a PG-13 name on it? Riddle me that, Afam.
Okay, actually, yeah.
Anyway, continue.
But anyway, yeah. Jokes aside, which is my new saying, I think Belle by Arrowboy was a really good song, and yeah, I'd like to play it. So, here's Belle by Arrowboy.
No time, don't waste my time. Eco vibes, please don't kill my vibe. Washani washe, leta ni lete. Sherehe ni sheria, huku kwetu sherehe ni sheria. Washani washe, leta ni lete. Sherehe ni sheria, huku kwetu sherehe ni sheria. Ukileta one time, nakupa two time, we have a good time, yeah. Si tunajirusha mpaka luta, we have a good time. Ukileta one time, nakupa two time, we have a good time, yeah. Si tunajirusha mpaka luta, we have a good time. Loketo, baby loketo, loketo, dance for me loketo, loketo, oh loketo, loketo, dance for me loketo. Belle, 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 dance like I lose my Belle. Belle, 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 dance like I lose my Belle. Niko polite, niko na mtoto na sio kawaida. Niko na shash, leta kalaita, na niko bumper to bumper ka fighter. Hey, tule, wewe na ule mpewe. Pombe kwa wingi, watoto kwa wingi, pesa kwa wingi, cheza mziki kwa wingi, hey. Ukileta one time, nakupa two time, we have a good time, yeah. Si tunajirusha mpaka luta, we have a good time, Ukileta one time, nakupa two time, we have a good time, yeah. Si tunajirusha mpaka luta, we have a good time, Loketo, baby loketo, loketo, dance for me loketo, loketo, oh loketo, loketo, dance for me loketo. Belle, 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 dance like I lose my Belle. Belle, 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 Belle,
So that was Belle by Arrow Boy. Fantastic song. Really enjoyed that listen. You can listen to that on all streaming platforms.
Yep.
I'm sounding like I'm doing promo for him, but yeah. Sam, this is a good podcast. I feel like you got a lot out there. Like you got a lot off your chest, which was good.
A quarter of what I needed to get off my chest, but
and then you also you did a lot this podcast. You also coined one of my favorite new terms, or quote, say, I don't know, whatever it is. It's just legendary. But yeah, man, guys, listen. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry for interrupting. Before we go,
go ahead. Sorry for interrupting. Before we go, the intro track. I should have done this in the intro, but I'm such a terrible. So if you don't know, the intro tracks we usually play beats and that we make, right? But for this intro, we decided to go with a friend of mine called Elijah Kamal Maina. He released a song recently. That song is called Radiance. So that's what you heard in the intro. Hit him, follow him, I guess, on Spotify, wherever you can find his music, and Instagram, social media, all that business. That's the end of my promo.
Fire. But yeah,
it's a dope joint.
Sam played it
so bouncy.
Sam pitched the idea to me, and I was like, I was skeptical because it's like, wait, we always do our songs in the intro.
No,
but
we'll
I listened
next
to it
week.
And I was like, yeah. No, we'll be back. But I listened to the song Sam played, and I was like, this is a really good song for the intro. So shout out to wait, remind me his name. Sorry, I
Elijah Kamal Maina.
Oh, shout out to Elijah,
formerly known as EKM. I think he switched his name.
EKM, yes, that's easier to remember. Shout out to EKM, and that was fire. Yeah. But like I was saying, guys, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on the 30% Pod on everything. We're now on YouTube, like we're now on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn. And listen, as always, appreciate you guys so much. We love delivering this product to you, and hopefully you guys enjoy listening to us. And I've been getting feedback about the podcast and in real life with real people who actually listen, and it's dope to hear and see. And
it's weird though.
I'm excited.
I don't know if I like the thought.
It is weird.
I don't like the thought of people listening to me on their own time.
I know it's weird. It's surreal. But it is what it is. And like I said, thank you guys, and we'll catch you on episode 29.
Yep.
We out.